Maybe you're a platform teacher, like you've been working with one of those large online ESL companies in China, and you've been asked to continue teaching your students, or you're really interested in being able to continue teaching your students from a platform, and you're just not sure how to put it all together, and the overwhelm and the obstacles and the challenges and the technology cause you to stop moving forward and really paralyze you in your decision making. Hey, I'm Tim, online teacher turned entrepreneur, helping online teachers build their teaching businesses. If you are a platform teacher and you're wanting to continue to teach your students in China, then I would strongly encourage you to click on this link. It's going to be super helpful for you. And if you're looking for a supportive community, our Facebook group, Going Solo Independent Teaching, is the place for you, a place to ask questions, a place to learn and get support. So please join that Facebook group. The link is in the description of this video. Hey, I want to get right into this. I want to share with you the 5 key decisions that you need to make if you are wanting to move from platform to independence. Because remember, not everybody wants to be an independent teacher. Some of you online teachers are quite comfortable teaching for companies. But with the crash that has happened with the online English tutoring industry in China, many teachers and many parents are wanting to continue their classes privately. And these are solutions that I have figured out for myself and my clients, former online ESL platform teachers who have moved from their platform to building their own teaching businesses with their students. And I want to share with you these 5 key decisions that you need to make if you want to move forward in this venture. So the 5 key decisions begin with number 1, which is this right for me? Then we're going to talk about who are you teaching? Number 3 is what are you teaching? Number 4 is what is your offer? And number 5 is how do you put all of this together? Within these 5 questions, there are a number of key decisions that are important for you to make as you move forward. So let's look at number 1, is this right for me? A lot of times, one of the most hindering roadblocks in our progress moving towards our goals is our very own mindset. And you need to get beyond yourself and your own hindering beliefs about what you're capable of to be able to move forward in building your own business. And so I really encourage you to think about what is it that's stopping you? What is it in your mindset that tells you that you're not capable of doing something? Replace those fears, replace those limiting beliefs, replace those negative affirming statements with positive affirmations that tell you that you are capable of doing hard things, you are capable of building your own business, and you are capable and deserve abundance in your life. And I really believe that when you move beyond those mindset blocks and start giving yourself, your mind, your body, your soul, positive affirmations every day, then it really helps to bring those goals into action to actually come to fruition. Next, we need to look at transition. And the transition from moving from a platform to independence is one that you need to consider. Is this something that you actually want to put effort into? Because within that transition, there are going to be challenges, there's going to be roadblocks, there's going to be frustrations, and it's important that you understand that in the beginning so that you can be ready to move beyond those and to tackle them as you are faced with them. Number 3, we need to look at time. So within this decision of whether or not this is something that you want to do, you need to look at the time that you have to put into it. Building your own business takes time. I really encourage you to set aside 1 to 2 hours a day to work on your business, maybe even more in the beginning as you're building it. But once the systems are in place, the decisions are made, the students are coming, then you really just have to worry about managing your classes, preparing your lessons, and teaching your students. The rest will be what you put in place in the beginning. And finally, action. Are you an action taker? Are you someone that wants everything done for you? Maybe independent teaching isn't for you. Are you someone that would rather just work for a company where everything is taken care of and you don't have to think about those decisions? Then maybe working for a company is for you. But if you're wanting to move from platform to independence, I hope you're an action taker. I hope you're someone that wants to actually do this thing, to do hard things, to put the wheels into motion to make it happen. So I hope that these considerations help you in making that first key decision, which is this right for me or not? Key decision number 2 is who are you teaching? Remember that now you are an independent teacher. You don't need to teach everybody. And in fact, I would encourage you not to. So we want to get specific on who is our ideal student, who is the student that we want to teach, and we do that by thinking about where we get results with students and what are the types of students that tend to take our classes. Maybe you're an online teacher working for a platform that typically attracted older students. Or maybe you attracted younger students, those really little ones that were just starting their English journey. Maybe you were the fun teacher that parents wanted to take classes with, or you were very serious about grammar and pronunciation. Or maybe you really got results with reading because you have a reading background. Or you were just great at conversation and you really got students talking and coming out of their shell and gaining confidence in speaking English. So I would really encourage you to take some time to think about what is the type of student that you want to teach, because as an independent teacher, you get to control that. You get to choose who you teach and who you don't teach. And I promise you that when you get clear on this in the beginning, it becomes much easier when you start preparing lessons and start looking at curriculum and start working with students, because you will be clear on the type of student that you want to work with, and then build your schedule around students that are attracted to your style of teaching and what you have to offer. So once we've decided that yes, this is for me, and I'm getting clear on the type of student that I want to teach, now we want to think about, so once we have these students, exactly what are we going to be teaching? Curriculum is a struggle for many online teachers who are moving independent, but it doesn't have to be. I've done a video up here which talks about some pre-made curriculums that you can use that are already set out, that are clickable, plug and play type of curriculums where you are able to just jump in and move the student through a progressional sequence of lessons. And so that's one option. Many independent teachers love the fact that you are now able to teach to the student, that you are not bound by a structured curriculum, and you can pull your own lessons, your own resources, and your own curriculum into your classes. This is daunting for some people, and so you may want to just go with a preset curriculum. But perhaps you're someone that's a little bit more creative and you want to bring in some of your own resources. I would strongly encourage you not to sell your program specifically to your parents, but rather sell your teaching skills and keep things flexible and open in terms of what you're teaching. As long as you are teaching students along a continuum and that each lesson builds on the previous one, then that's really the most important thing. When building and creating lessons, you want to also make sure that you have a structure. You want to limit the out-of-class time that you are preparing for lessons. And so maybe you go with a program, but you customize that program and break it down into sequential lessons for your students. All right, key decision number 4 is what is your offer? And within that, we've got the 4 Ps. We've got payment, we've got pricing, packaging, and platforms. I know that is a mouthful, but let's talk about the first one, which is payment. You want to make sure that you have made a decision and that you have an easy payment gateway for your parents. If you are working with Chinese clients and you're taking students from a platform in China, then you need to have something set up that enables them to pay easily. My recommendation is using Stripe, which is a payment processing platform. It is not available in all countries around the world, but you can go to stripe.com and look at where it is available and if it's available for you. Once you have gotten a Stripe account and set up your Stripe account as a business using a website, maybe a LinkedIn profile or a Facebook business page, and you have got all your things within Stripe set up to receive the funds into your bank account, then you are going to enable WeChat Pay inside of Stripe to be able to have parents use WeChat Pay to process their payment that will go into your Stripe account. This has nothing to do with your particular WeChat account. We are not receiving funds into our WeChat account. We're receiving the funds from their WeChat Pay into our Stripe account. Next, let's talk about pricing. You want to make sure that you are setting your pricing to be at a place where you are getting compensated for your time to teach, as well as your skills as a teacher, and your time out of class for preparation and running your business. You are also going to have business expenses. So I like to think of payment as working backwards from what your goals are every month to the number of hours you have available, and then adding a percentage, maybe 10 to 15% on top of that to take care of out-of-class time, business expenses, and payment processing as payment goes from China into your bank account. You will lose on exchange rates and small fees. So it's important to set up a price that is comfortable for you, and that really values your worth as a teacher and that you would want to get paid. Within pricing, we can also talk about packages. So packages are very common to be sold with students in China. You could create a certain price point for a lower package of classes, like you're selling 10 classes at a time, and you can create a slightly cheaper rate for classes if you're selling a larger amount of classes in a package, like 30 classes at a time. So I would go with 2 types of packages, maybe a low number for parents who are a little bit hesitant of purchasing a large number of classes, make that price a little bit higher, and then go with a price point that is a little bit lower for a larger number of packages. And the last P in your key decision for what your offer is your platform. Parents want to know, how are we going to take classes? So you have a number of options, especially if you're teaching students in China. You can use Zoom and send them a Zoom link. It's very, very easy, and students can access Zoom in China. Zoomoo is another option in China, as well as Vuv, which is Tencent's video conferencing platform. So those are options if Zoom for some reason isn't working well for you, or you'd rather look at something that is based in China, then you can look at Vuv or Zoomoo. Now, there are lots of other platforms that have come available to independent teachers that allow you to teach your students. A very common one and popular one is Classin. Classin allows you to have a really robust classroom platform, a very professional classroom for your students. It does more than Zoom, so you're able to load the lessons into the classroom. It's got lots of interactive features as well. Another option I recently heard about is Neukol, Neukol, and this is another kind of video conferencing platform that you can use with your students in China. So lots of options out there. Explore them, look at the pricing, and decide which one works for you. Now, the last key decision and question to answer is, how do you put all this together? How do you make all of these things work, and how do you launch this with your parents? You want to think about, what is your system for launching your teaching business with your parents? When a new parent or student approaches you about classes, what are you going to say to them? What is the first step that you want them to do? Do you want them to book a trial class with you? Do you want to send them your digital business card, which has information about your classes, your payment portal, and how you're going to schedule? Do you want to send them to a website, which has more information? Or do you want to just give them a call to action within your messaging with the parent or student and ask them to book a class, or to sign an agreement, or to schedule a class? Whatever the case may be, it's important to outline what your systems are going to be. So I recommend something like engaging in conversation with the parent about what their goals are for their child. Make sure that they are actually a student that you can help and that you want to work with. And then I would schedule them for a trial class. I like to charge 50% for a trial class. It gives them some buy-in to the class. It gets them practicing with the payment portal. And in that trial class, I would assess the child's level and ability. I would also spend a few minutes discussing things with the parent, and then ask them if they'd like to see your agreement, which might go over your policies and some details about your classroom. From there, you can get the parent to choose a package that they'd like, let them know your prices, and then send the invoice to them. Once they have sent the payment to you, then you can schedule their classes based on the number of classes that they've purchased. You could either schedule your classes for your student, or you could have the parent schedule the classes for the student. If you use an app like Calendly, you can send the link to the parent and they can book the classes. What I absolutely love about independent teaching is that I get to control all of these decisions. I get to control how much I get paid, when I get paid, how I teach, where I teach, what I teach, and who I teach. All these decisions are mine, and I also get to control whether I get a pay raise. I don't get fired for missing a class. I put that into my agreement that I will reschedule the class with the parent. I give the parent that same flexibility if they need to cancel a class. If they cancel a class outside of 24 hours, then I will reschedule it. But if they cancel it within 24 hours, I give them a couple of free chances to do that within a package of classes. And outside of a couple of opportunities to do that within 24 hours, they will lose the class, just like what happened on a platform. Now, it's also very important to shift your mindset and understand that you are no longer a platform teacher, you are an independent teacher, and we don't have to replicate everything that we did on the platform like VIP Kid. Things can be different now, and parents, while they may have expectations for things to be very similar, they're just simply not going to be. And so it's important that you understand that you are no longer that platform teacher offering what the platform offered. You're offering something different, something unique, and quite honestly, something exciting, because this is your business. It's scalable, you can make more, you can work less, and you can have a lot of fun doing it. If this was intriguing to you, if you are at that point of making some of these key decisions, again, please click the link up here, which is going to help you go from platform to independent teaching, and I would love to be there to be your cheerleader, to be your guide, and to be your support throughout the process. Thanks so much again for watching this video. If you've got any questions about independent teaching, please leave them in the comments of this video and I will be sure to reply to you. You can also follow me on Instagram @OnlineTeacherDude, where I share some behind the scenes, and it's probably the best way to connect with me inside my DMs. Thanks everybody. Whatever you are doing in online teaching, I wish you the very best. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Hey, don't go anywhere just yet. These videos might be interesting to watch for you, and if you haven't subscribed, you can do it right here with one click. Also, in the video description, I recommend different products and services and ways that you can work with me further, so don't forget, look in the video description below.